Mike Tomlin's questionable decisions and defensive blunders have left Steelers fans furious with the team. Let's see what's going on with Tomlin. And there's more. DeShon Elliott admitted he was largely to blame for the team's loss. You won't believe what he said. Don't miss any details and leave a like. Mike Tomlin faces growing questions about Steelers' direction. Throughout Mike Tomlin's time as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team has been driven by the mantra, "The standard is the standard." But after recent events, that standard seems increasingly unclear. The Steelers' loss to the Dallas Cowboys stemmed from a variety of issues, though not all were due to a lack of talent. Najee Harris struggled to make an impact, averaging just 3.0 yards per carry, while George Pickens had several costly drops, signaling a tough night for Pittsburgh's offense. However, the most puzzling part of the game wasn't just the offensive performance. It was Tomlin's use of timeouts in the second half, which left the Steelers without any after the Cowboys' late touchdown. One timeout was used to remove rookie defensive back Beanie Bishop from the field, but another critical one came toward the end of the game. On the Cowboys' final drive, with Dak Prescott failing to reach the end zone and just 10 seconds left on the clock, the Steelers had a chance to stop a 10-second runoff. Instead, Tomlin allowed the clock to tick down to 36 seconds. Following that, the Steelers used their final timeout after a short 1-yard run and an incomplete pass, despite the clock already being stopped. Even with defensive adjustments, the Cowboys scored, leaving the Steelers just 20 seconds to respond. That final timeout could have been invaluable on the Steelers' last drive, but without it, they were unable to advance and ultimately fell short. Tomlin's decisions, combined with inconsistent play, contributed to yet another frustrating loss in Week 5. This latest defeat highlights a troubling pattern of questionable coaching choices and underwhelming performances from both the offense and defense. Is it time to challenge the mantra of the standard? Perhaps. What's clear is that the Steelers' recent performance, both in terms of coaching strategy and execution on the field, falls short of any standard associated with success. What did you think of Tomlin's choices? Leave your comment and don't stop there, because Elliott's mistake promises to raise even more questions about the Steelers' defense. Steelers' DeShon Elliott owns up to defensive breakdown. That's on me. The Pittsburgh Steelers' recent 20-17 loss to the Dallas Cowboys doesn't tell the full story. While the final score suggests a close game, the Cowboys dominated on both sides of the ball, only kept in check by their own mistakes. 3 turnovers and a blocked kick. Despite being outgained by nearly double in yardage, Pittsburgh was somehow still within reach of a win. After the game, safety DeShon Elliott took responsibility for 2 crucial plays that tipped the game in Dallas's favor. On the first, Elliott slipped in man coverage against Rico Dowdle, leading to an easy touchdown. While the field was wet from earlier rain, Elliott acknowledged that such an error is inexcusable at the NFL level. The second costly play came in the final seconds of the game, with Dallas facing 4th and goal. Elliott managed to catch up to the receiver on a crossing route, but couldn't break up the pass, leading to the game-winning touchdown. Though it was a difficult play, Elliott knows it's one he had to make. Elliott's miscues were part of a larger issue within the Steelers' secondary. Throughout the game, defensive backs left receivers wide open, with unclear communication and a soft zone defense unable to contain Dallas's pass-heavy offense. Against a seasoned quarterback like Dak Prescott, those mistakes proved costly. The Steelers allowed long, sustained drives and were lucky to be in the game at all. You can't expect to win while being outgained by over 200 yards and still rely on one critical play to turn the game around. Dallas made the decisive play when it mattered, sealing the victory. What's most concerning for Pittsburgh is not just this loss, but the fact that they've shown little progress in fixing their issues. Just a week earlier, they fell to the Colts in a similar fashion, losing by 3 points due to a mix of poor decisions and defensive breakdowns. In that game, much like against Dallas, coverage failures were rampant, with Indianapolis receivers getting open repeatedly. The defense was picked apart both in the air and on the ground, and while the offense nearly pulled out a win, one final mistake cost them the game. While Elliott's accountability is commendable, the Steelers as a whole need a reset. They've had back-to-back winnable games slip through their fingers due to the same self-inflicted wounds, and unless changes are made, more losses are likely to follow. The truth is that Steelers fans can't stand losing games anymore because of mistakes that seem to repeat themselves week after week. If the team doesn't fix these mistakes, more losses will come. Don't forget to click on the next video that will appear on your screen.